Okay, here we go for our essential title workshop. I'm so excited to be doing these title workshops today, and I hope it's the beginning of something bigger. We've never done it before in the whole journey of my very long, almost 15-year Scentsy career. 15 years. I have never done these before. I've done one-on-one chats with people, but never done like an entire title group. So the reason that I wanted to start these is because Scentsy is all about community and all about connections. And so our groups, if you will, at each title could be helpful for you as an individual in your Scentsy journey. At the end of this, I want to chat about essentials, maybe making all of them together a community in some way, either a Facebook group or a Marco Polo group, or maybe combining with the certifieds, because essentials is such a transient title. You don't stay at essential long usually. So, and if you're working your business, you're going to get to certified super quickly. So let's start off by talking about the main reason that you started this business. Usually, if you're an essential consultant, you've got some reason that you click the join button, and that reason, we call it your why. It's super important, because if you don't know why you started, then you don't know what you need to do with your business. So people start for a lot of different reasons, and I started way back almost 15 years ago because I wanted to get more candles. That's what I called them. I wanted to get more wickless candles for my house, and I wanted to get a discount. And my husband at the time said, you should probably just sign up and do this because you're going to be buying a lot, I can tell. So that was why I did back then. And then it quickly grew and my why changed. Then I wanted a paycheck because it was like, oh, I'm getting paid for this. I want a bigger paycheck. So my why changed. And now this is my full-time job. I stopped as an RN, and I am halfway supporting our family with my Scentsy business, and have been able to do amazing things with the paychecks that I get. So it's normal for your why to change. But right now, as an essential consultant, you need to really focus on why you're either, if you just joined and you're an essential because you just joined, then why you joined. And if you've been an essential for a long time and are just ready to move to the next step, then you need to know why you're sticking with it and why you want to go to the next step. The compensation plan at Essential is, I'm going to share it and show you, is really about getting to $1,000 in sales. So right now, when you first join, you get 20% in sales on all of your sales. You get paid back 20% of that as a commission. You will promote to certified consultant when you reach, however long it takes you, reach that 1,000 benchmark of sales. So you can see on your dashboard, it will have a little circle and it'll show you how close you are to that PRV. PRV just means personal retail volume. It's basically dollar for dollar how much you've sold, with a few exceptions like licensed things. But it tells you right beside each product how much PRV it's worth. When you do promote, you get your very first raise, and that's 25% is what you'll be making from then on out. You'll never go back to the 20%. And the cool thing is, whatever day of the month you promote to certified and hit that 1,000, say it's the 31st of January and you hit it that day, that entire month of January, all those sales will be paid at that 25%, not just that last day's pay. So if you join, you're an essential consultant when you join, and you say you have an awesome launch party and you reach that certified consultant landmark of 1,000 PRV in that same month that you join, you'll never get paid 20%. I think that's the coolest thing ever. You don't even have to get paid 20%. Okay, so that is what your compensation plan looks like. Once you get to certified, then you've got lots of decisions to make, really just two. If you're going to decide to keep going and you want to promote, then you're going to need to grow your team. And a lot of people do that because your paycheck, when you start growing your team and the bonuses you get paid on your team, will eventually outweigh the pay your commissions give you. So that is something that you need to decide. Am I going to grow my team, or am I just going to stay a consultant? And even that decision can change over time. What I will focus on right now is telling you, don't ever think it's too early to grow your team. Some of the best consultants, not the best consultants, but some of the fastest growing consultants in our organization have been ones that decided very first, when they shot out of the cannon in their launch party, they're like, I want to do this with a friend. And they asked a friend who really loves Scentsy to join with them, and they just learn together. So your sponsor and or your director will help both of you at the same time, instead of you having to know everything at the beginning to teach your the consultant that joins with you. So never think that you're too young in the business to recruit. Now, one of the very first things you need to concentrate on, if you haven't already, is doing that checklist. Every single thing on that first things first checklist on your workstation, you need to check off those things, because that is what is building you your sensational start goal. In your first 70 days, you can earn levels 1, 2, or 3 of sensational start. You need to check mark those boxes so that Scentsy can know that you've gone through those trainings. You need to do your list of 100. Your list of 100 is all the people that you can possibly think of to write down on a piece of paper. That list of 100 is in your consultant guide. It's in the workstation under marketing or training, one of those. Just go to the top in the Scentsy Success and do list of 100, and it will come up. You can think about Frank is how we say it. Friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, and kids acquaintances. So like your kids' parents or somebody you know through your kids. So think of all those things and make a list, and you know more people than you think you do. Another thing is, if you haven't had a launch party already, you need to set up that launch party. It is part of your first things first checklist, and you can do this party any way you choose. You can do it as a home party, which I always love because people are actually together and the excitement builds off of each other. Everybody's sniffing the testers. People are talking about this warmer or that diffuser, and it's basically peer pressure to buy all the things, right? So home parties are amazing if you can do that. If you can't, definitely do one online on Facebook or a basket party. Maybe you have little sip and sniffs with different groups of people, maybe 2 people over here, 2 people over here. That way you at least get the testers under their noses. Your launch party could be the thing that gets you to that certified promotion, because it's usually when you're the most excited about your products. It's when you're telling every single person that you know that you're now selling Scentsy, and those people are trying to help you because they're your friends. What's going to happen when you get to a certain point and those friends have bought all the Scentsy they need right now, not forever, but right now, then you're going to need to widen that circle. So that's why parties are super important. At that launch party, make it a goal to at least book 2 parties off of that party, and so on and so on. Let's see. When you sell to anyone, whether it's in a party or just one-on-one, make sure you have some type of follow-up and customer service, because people like to know that you care about them and their experience, and they're not just a dollar sign in your eyes. So never think that reaching out to your customer to make sure that she loved the warmer she bought, or that she knows how to use the diffuser, or loves the color of the warmer or the scent or whatever it is. Never think that that's being pushy or salesy, because it's not. It's customer service. And if more people in other direct sales companies did it, I would be spending a lot more money. But I'll tell you, I don't have consultants in other companies that reach out to me to check on me and make sure I'm loving my Pampered Chef knives or my Pampered Chef can opener or whatever, my Pampered Chef wine diffuser. If they did, I'd be buying them for every single person I know. But just think of what you would want if you're buying something from somebody. Think of what you would want them to come ask you. And that's your answer as to what you should go to them. So obviously, after someone purchases off your workstation or off your website or off a party, you're going to thank them. That's your first contact. The next one will be when their stuff ships, you're going to let them know that it shipped and give them the tracking number. That's super helpful to them. And then third, about a week later, you're going to check in with them and make sure that they have taken it out of the box, they've used it, and that they love it. And then that conversation could turn into a sale, but that's not when you ask for the sale, unless they ask first. You're going to wait probably a good 2 to 4 weeks after that. I usually do it in a month. And I come back to them and say, I hope you're still loving all your stuff. If it's time for a refill for you, I'm putting in an order. I'd love to see what you'd like. So follow-up does not mean you're asking for another sale. Follow-up is customer service. Next, one of the very first things as a consultant you need to make sure you do, and this is in your first things first checklist as well, is make sure that you go to your workstation account tab and that you add your picture, the picture of you, not a warmer, and write a little tiny story. It doesn't have to be a big story. Write a story about why you joined Scentsy. It could be like stream of consciousness. Just talk about it. Say, I went to a party and I bought this and I loved it so much that I wanted to get 25% discount or whatever. Just write your story in there. Because when people come to your website, they don't want to see the same website as everybody else. They want to see your face to make sure that they're shopping from you. And when people come to join your team, they are going to want to join someone who looks like they're happy doing what they're doing, and they can read a story about why you joined and why you stay and why you love the products. So that is something that I definitely want every single person to do if you haven't done it already. And we even go as far as to say every 6 months when your catalog changes, go change your picture, update it, and update your story, because things change, like we said, over time. All right. I don't want to overwhelm you, because as an essential consultant, a lot of things are new, and a lot of things probably you've already heard or read from either your sponsor, your director, or the consultant guide. But I wanted to make sure I covered all those first things. There are lots of trainings in the training area of Scentsy Success that are for new consultants, not just the ones in the first things first. I encourage you to go there as often as you can and watch those trainings, because they will be super helpful. So now I'm going to open it up for questions. Anybody have anything, or anybody want to add anything that's super important when you first start out as an essential consultant?
Get to know your sponsor if you don't already. But I just ate ice, so my mouth is numb. I'm trying to talk with a numb mouth. If you're obviously you don't want to hunt your sponsor down or hound them 24/7, but don't be afraid of bothering them. Like there's no dumb question. I still 5 years, almost 6 years in, ask quote unquote dumb questions to my sponsor. Like I should
No.
know this, but it's okay. So if there's something you're not sure about, ask. Um, it it will not bother your sponsor. It will let them know that you are trying to learn and understand and that you're serious about this. So yeah.
I'm going to go off of what you just said. With that being said, don't be afraid to explore your workstation. Sometimes the workstation can be a little overwhelming. So you don't want to always go to your sponsor or director with questions. Keep looking. Use that search bar in the workstation, because the only way you're going to learn how to use it is just search around and play with it. So
Thank you for saying that. That reminds me. A lot of people ask me, what should I do in my business? If I'm opening my business every day, like you're telling me to do, what should I be doing? And the answer to that is connecting with customers, going to your news tab every single day to check on what's new in the news tab article. Following your numbers is important even at the beginning. Writing down your PRV, and when you get a team, your TWV, which is your team wholesale volume, and how many people are active in your team. Start that from the very beginning. You don't have to have a huge team to be doing that. But tracking how your numbers go each month for sales is super helpful down the road. Another thing you could be doing is trying to book parties. Maybe reach out to 2 people every single day and ask them if you can help them get free and half price Scentsy. Don't use the party word. Some people are scared of that word. So use a different type of, like I use shop and share link. Would you like a shop and share link? That's what I use for my parties. And then I develop it depending on what the customer wants from that. If they want a Facebook group, then I do that. If they want a basket party, I do that. If they want a home party, yeehaw, haven't had one of those in a year. But you just sort of start with what you can get them and what they're going to receive from you and go from there, because we're all about arrows out and giving more than we take.
Absolutely. And just to add into that and what Leslie said, if maybe you're having trouble with your sponsor, or, maybe your sponsor is going through something and they're not ready available for you, or, you're not clicking with them or whatever, you're not by yourself. You're not alone. Any woman in any one of these little boxes is ready and available for you, to be there for you. That's why Scentsy is so different, I think, from any other direct selling company, is just the people that we're in business with. Titles don't mean anything. It doesn't mean just because Bonnie's an SSD that she's out of reach. You can contact any one of us for help, guidance, support, questions, whatever. It's, whoever you feel comfortable with, wherever you need to go to find support, we're all here to do that. So
Exactly. Anybody else want to say anything? Yeah. All right. Thanks for coming, everyone. I will stop the recording